issue that people seem to be arguing about lately. Some people say that the Earth heats and cools naturally over time, where others say the rising temperatures are caused by human impact. While history and research does show that temperatures rise due to natural phenomena, as in volcanic eruptions, solar energy, and natural rises in greenhouse gases, the data in current years shows that nature is not the only cause. Humans have had a significant and irreversible impact on the rising global temperatures. The rise in temperature cannot be explained by natural causes alone. CO2 emissions are the main cause of greenhouse gas buildup. A 64% increase in CO2 levels have happened since the Industrial Revolution. This is a 40% increase in the amount of CO2 that was already in the atmosphere. Methane makes up for 17% of greenhouse gases, and nitrous oxide makes up for 6%. While these numbers are low, the gases trap an exuberant amount of heat compared to CO2. There's controversies whether humans have had an impact on the CO2 emissions. The first one is deforestation. With the growing population, this calls for a need to chop down thousands of acres of forestry in order to create farms for food and places for houses. Trees remove CO2 from the atmosphere and changes it into oxygen. If we keep removing trees at the current rate, even more CO2 will fill our atmosphere, which causes temperatures to continue to rise. Livestock farming. As stated before, trees need to be removed to make room for farming. The animals being farmed also have a great cause in the rising temperatures. Each year, the livestock sector globally produces 586 million tons of milk, 91 million tons of pork, and 124 million tons of poultry. These animals release methane into the atmosphere, which is a gas that traps more heat than other greenhouse gases, 23% more than CO2 alone, making it a more serious issue than people think. Overall, there is 280 million tons of livestock animals throughout the world. Another controversy is the burning of fossil fuels and coal. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, the amount of factories and power plants have been on the rise, which also means that the amount of CO2 emissions have been increasing. 41% of all CO2 emissions come from cars and factories. There's no way to ignore those facts and statistics. So what does this all mean? What's going to happen to Earth? Some of you are thinking that a few degrees aren't going to change much. Everything will be the same. It'll just be a little bit hotter. Sadly, this is not the case. Think about it. If a rocket scientist changes a number by just 1, the whole spaceship is not going to work properly, and there might even be an explosion. Well, the Earth is the rocket ship in this case. We as humans are changing what the set number is meant to be, and we are causing a serious problem. There will be more serious disasters such as hurricanes, drought, intense storms, and flooding. The atmosphere is holding more water, which is being collected and not being dropped as normal rain. The atmosphere holding the water means that drought happens during that time. When the weather does permit for rain to happen, flooding happens. One effect is wildlife extinction happening more rapidly. Land and sea animals are being affected by the rise in temperature. For example, the Great Barrier Reef is a worldwide known reef that is known for its beauty. What you might not know is how sensitive coral reefs are to change in environment. The rising ocean temperatures cause the coral to expel the algae living in the structure, causing coral bleaching. Once a coral is colorless, that coral will never again be alive. The Great Barrier Reef has recently been pronounced dead. Another effect is higher sea levels. The ozone layer has depleted due to changes in the atmosphere in the areas of the Arctic and Antarctica, leaving a hole in the atmosphere. This causes the glaciers to melt, releasing massive amounts of water into the ocean. Major cities along the coastlines are going to be affected by the rise in oceans. Air pollution is another effect of rising global temperatures. The gases in the atmosphere are being trapped on Earth, and those gases are normally expelled into space. With these trapped gases, this means that the pollution is affecting us more than ever. Smog and acid rain are the main indications of air pollution. After all of this information, I hope that you understand what global warming is, how it happens, and the way it affects the Earth. While you don't see the effects in front of your eyes, climate change is happening all around you. It will affect generations to come. Earth can't heal itself, but you can make a difference by speaking up about what climate change is and also helping Mother Earth by not littering and picking up the trash that pollutes and destroys our planet.